Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Feliz terça-feira. Today was squats day. Got some squats done. Still battling gout. Talked about it on yesterday's video, the 25th of August, 2025. It sucks. Still hurting. That's all I'm going to say about that. A couple things I want to talk about. Today, because of that issue, I focused on some small things. Still did some step-ups with the box. I'm still getting something out of those. Still enjoying doing that motion, that movement. The slight variation today, all I did was when I stepped up, I brought that leg that was coming up. So if I stepped up on my left foot, that would be my right leg. Instead of just stopping at the box and tapping it, bringing it back down, I swung it all the way through, knee to waist height, then walked it back down. Just a slight variation, keeping things a little more fun, as it were. Then the other thing with safety squat, with the safety squat bar, stayed pretty light today, 185 for 5 sets of 5. Nothing heavy, but focused on really keeping my lats tight, but not my biceps, because that's was cramping up, trying to keep my upper back, nice and fixed. So I think I'm doing a better job with that per the video. And then the other thing is I was trying to, when I was down at the bottom, make sure my heels stay in contact with the floor and I drive through my heels. I know that's counter to what some people will talk about, midfoot, all this, blah, 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 whatever. Today I was just focusing on driving through my heels, because with the box squat, you are far behind. Your center of mass starts far behind the foot, So you got to bring it forward, and as you're bringing it forward, then you start to drive through the heels. I just want to make sure my heels were in good contact with the ground, and I was getting plenty of drive right out of the bottom. Accomplished those objectives, and everything went fine. And hopefully in a little bit I'll have my foot up and it will not be hurting so much. The one thing I want to talk about that's important, it touches upon kind of the stuff yesterday I talked about. I'm thankful for gout, how it kind of got me to focus on things and turn myself around mentally. Extending on that is the idea that there's some inner voice that's in almost everyone's head. I think everyone's got at least one voice, their own conscious, maybe another one or two for fun. But we have these, and these voices are constant, from when we first gain sentience until death. But that voice can be challenging sometimes. That voice in the back of my head was constantly at earlier stages of my life. It's fine to eat this, it's fine to do that, it's fine to not do these other things. And sometimes that little voice was not acting my best interest. And so one of the things I had to do was kind of turn it around and kind of take a lesson from that's who I was. And that was formed by the conditions that I was raised in. Those external forces that were growing up, parents, family, all that stuff. That shapes who we are, the experiences we have, and that's not who I am still, right? I've lived 50 years, I've changed quite a bit, and as a result, I shouldn't always be approaching things the same way I did as when I was 5, 10, 15 years old. So, point being, I've had to come to grips with how do I deal with that inner voice, as it were, that keeps telling me, do this, do that, do these other things, when I know that the wiser version of me would say something in many cases contradictory. Eat this instead of that, do this thing instead of that thing, things of that nature. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, to counter that voice that has been constantly our own companion for, in most cases, decades. And I think all of us have to deal with it at some point in time. That inner voice that at one point served potentially a good purpose. But it's time it's come. It's either we have to reshape that voice or we have to have some perspective of how to frame the context that voice is talking to us in. Something like that, because we have evolved. We've grown up. We know better, hopefully. And if we're here and we're working out and we're trying to eat right and all those things, we've done research. And we kind of know what the right things to do are, what to try and learn from. And so we should take that collective wisdom of the rest of the human race that we're trying to leverage and listen to it, and sometimes put those anecdotal mechanisms that comprise that inner voice, put those to the side and allow ourselves to grow and learn and reshape the way we think about things. And that's something that I've had to do as well. So yeah, I've lost a lot of weight, but I've also changed my perspective on things. I used to be a lot more negative towards things in life, and I was kind of grumpy a lot, and my outlook was not great. Not saying I've turned a new leaf or anything like that, but I would like to think that I'm doing better now. That I'm a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more open, a little bit less cynical. And it's because I've come to understand that some of those things that were in the back of my head, again, might have been protecting me at some point in time through my journey through life. You know, interaction with people, you know, staying guarded, not trusting people, things like that. Sure, they had a place and a time. I don't need that anymore. The same way when that voice tells me it's okay to eat a box of Swiss cake rolls. It's okay to sit on your butt and watch television all day. That voice might have had a place and a time as well. Maybe I needed to do those things. I doubt it, but you know, maybe it was something I needed to do at the time to cope with whatever was going on. I should not be doing those things now. So anyhow, long story short, I've had my struggles. I've had to deal with those things. I've had to come around on how to counter that voice that's inside of my head that sometimes is not acting in my best interest or is gnawing at me and saying things that really aren't that helpful. So I have to remember that I have grown, I've come a long way, and to do what I think is right, sometimes it is contradictory to that little impish voice that likes to sit on my shoulder, as it were. So anyhow, just wanted to share some of those thoughts about that. Hopefully, you know, someone out there finds it useful. And again, hope everyone's having a great week. Hope you're all accomplishing whatever goals it is that you have for yourself in the gym and for life. And, you know, stop by and say hi. All right. Have a great day and have a great week. Peace.